to me, just have a seat, relax and get comfortable, put up your feet. I've been dying to know what's on your mind, what's been going on, it's been too long. So grab you a drink and start spilling the tea. It's easy to see that I just love your energy. So go ahead and tell all, I'm so glad you called, cause I'm here for it all. I'm here for it, yeah, I'm here for it, yeah. I got you, you know all your secrets safe with. Here for it, here for it, here for it all.
It's your girl Tiffany D, and you're watching Sip and Dish. Singer, songwriter, author, and CEO Dawn Robinson was born November 24th in New London, Connecticut. Dawn was the oldest of 3 children born to John Robinson and Barbara Alexander. Throughout her childhood, she sang in the choir at AME Zion Church in Connecticut. Very quickly, Dawn realized her passion for singing, and she started recording music in the studio. And at 13, she moved to California with her older cousin. Shortly after, she was joined by her mother and sister, and they settled in Oakland, California, where she attended Oakland High School and graduated from San Leandro High School. After high school, Dawn auditioned for an all-female group. She got the gig, and that group became one of the biggest female groups of our time, En Vogue. These 4 talented ladies released their first #1 single, Hold On, in 1990, which was followed up by the release of their very first album, Born to Sing. Their debut album went platinum. Funky Divas was their next multi-platinum album, which released in 1992. Dawn sang lead on their major hit, My Lovin', Never Gonna Get It, Giving Him Something He Can Feel, and Free Your Mind, which still remains one of the group's signature songs. Free Your Mind won 2 MTV Video Music Awards for Best R&B Video and Best Dance Video. In 1993, En Vogue released their EP, Runaway Love, with its title track, What a Man, featuring Salt and Pepper, quickly becoming a fan favorite. In 1996, En Vogue was featured on the Set It Off soundtrack with one of their biggest hits, Don't Let Go. Don't Let Go sold millions of copies and became certified platinum. That would be the last featured single Dawn would sing with the group. In 1997, towards the almost completion of the 3rd album and after difficult contractual negotiations, Dawn had no choice but to leave En Vogue. In 1999, Dawn joined Lucy Pearl with longtime friend Raphael Sadiq and Ali Shaheed Muhammad. They released their self-titled album in 2000 with their lead Grammy-nominated single, Dance Tonight, charting in the top 40 on Billboard's Hot 100 and top 5 on the R&B chart. The album went certified gold, and the group released their second single, Don't Mess With My Man, shortly after. Dawn left the group in October of 2000. Since then, Dawn has released several independent projects, appeared on season 1 of R&B Divas Los Angeles, and reunited with En Vogue for reunion tours and special performances. Dawn is now on an interview world tour and has so much in store for the future of her brand.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Tiffany. Thanks for giving me an extra hour, because I'm used to the interviewers hit me in the morning and say, hey, today's the day, or I will hit them if I remember. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And when you didn't do that, I was looking through all my emails and all my texts, and it was actually I'm sorry, not text, but my Instagram messages. And then I guess because I have so many people hitting me every day that all the messages go way down on my timeline, on my thread. And I could not find you. I was like, Tiffany, I spelled your name, and then I spelled the date, January 22nd, and nothing came up for us at all. I couldn't find you until you were like, hey, I'll see you in an hour. I'm like, I'm not dressed. I had to take a shower, get my makeup, all that. So I'm glad you hit me up. Oh my goodness.
Of course. I'm glad. First of all, thank you so much for even speaking with me.
Oh, you kidding?
No, I'm just grateful.
Everybody keeps saying that, and I'm like, there is no way that celebrities can be who we are, entertainers can be who we are without the people. So you have a platform, and I'm grateful that you are generous enough to allow me to speak on your platform. That, you know what I mean? It doesn't work. It works both ways. You guys support us, and we are who we are because of you, and back and forth as fans. So
partnership.
give and take, and I'm grateful. I really am. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so Dawn, I have to let you know. I have to give you
Yes.
a proper intro. We have to do it right. We got in a little bit crazy, but we're gonna get it right.
Yes.
So so first of all, I don't want to age myself, but
You're aging, I'm aging.
when I say I literally grew up on your music.
Yes.
Literally.
Wow. So you're younger than me. So I'm actually the one who's aging. Okay.
Don't feel like that. Don't feel like
Oh
that.
my God.
Woo,
Wow.
I feel like I'm getting up there. But
Okay.
you know, for such accomplishments you had in this industry, from acting to songwriting to singing to being in two of the most famous groups ever. One
Yes.
biggest Black female.
Exactly.
Just growing up on all of your music and all of your accomplishments, I want to welcome you to Sip and Dish with me, Tiffany G. So Sip and Dish, this is what we do. We sip whatever we want. If it's coffee, tea, sometimes it's a little wine. When I talk to Tiffany, we had a little beer.
Exactly. It's too early for wine and beer. It's only exact 3 o'clock, so it's a little early, but yes, I understand. Exactly.
We dish a little bit. So, welcome to my show, Dawn.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm happy to be here.
You have been on quite a roll.
Yes.
I feel like I have just been seeing such phenomenal interviews with you, literally everywhere.
Yes, they have been everywhere. It's amazing, Tiffany. Seriously.
It's awesome.
It is incredible. Thank you.
Finally be able to hear your story. And I feel like each interview that I watch of you, I try not to be too jaded because I don't want it to influence like our organic conversation, but absolutely one that I see, I learn something new.
Yes, exactly. And that's good. That's so good, because for a while I was feeling like, okay, I asked my business partner, I said, do you think I should stop these interviews? Because I'm sometimes talking, you know, the main question of every single interview that I've done, pretty much, they ask me about what happened to En Vogue, why'd you leave, why the breakup, and will you ever go again? So there's two questions actually. Will you ever go back again, and what happened, why'd you leave in the first place? But everything else, it's so organic, and all of the interviews are different, and even how I answer those two questions is different every time. I try to give a little bit more information. I'm remembering stuff that happened. You're talking about, you know, 22 years ago when I left the group. How did we get started? That's usually a thread as well that they ask me. You know, how'd you get into the group? How'd you start singing? And even how I answer that, sometimes things will come up in my memory and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about this. So it's kind of fresh each time. And then I have to think as well, each interviewer has their own, you guys each have your own fan base. Yes. So some of the people that didn't hear the other 60 or 80 interviews that I've done are now hearing it for the first time with you. Exactly. So I'm just like, you know, and so my business partner and I agreed that I'm going to keep these going as long as people want to talk to me. It's, you know, it's good. And even if they ask the same questions over and over again, it's fine, because obviously the interviewer doesn't know and they want to know for themselves what happened. Right. And I'm grateful for that, because I was never given the chance to really talk about what happened. I didn't have the money to get a publicist back then and actually speak for myself and get the platform. So in other words, the brand, the En Vogue brand, went with Cindy, Terry, and Maxine, and I wasn't allowed to use the brand. They had me sign off on using the name En Vogue when I left the group. So I couldn't really use that brand. Not that I wanted to use the brand, but they had the brand. It was the three of them. So it was like the group was more, how can I put it? Because I was solo by myself, I didn't have the power of another voice with me, Cindy's voice or Maxine's voice or Terry's voice. I was just by myself. Right. So what do you call it? Oh my God, our agents, like William Morris, and those are the people that usually set up our interviews and stuff. And they were like, I contacted one of his name is Alan. There were Jeff, the two Jeffs, we call them, at William Morris. And they were like, well, you know, I can't really represent you because I'm representing Cindy and Maxine and Terry. And, you know, that's the brand. And unfortunately, I mean, you're part of the brand, but that's the brand. And I was like, basically, they were telling me to kick rocks. You know, I really didn't have the power of talking and speaking for myself. So now it's like God put you guys in my life. I'm so grateful for this. And I told someone recently in another interview, I said, it's not, because they were like, well, I only have a few followers on my page. I don't have a big page. And I said, that's okay. I don't need you to have a big page. It's fine. I'm grateful that you, again, like I told you, I'm grateful that you want to talk to me and that I'm getting my truth out. And one person tells one person tells one person. You know what I mean? That's how the word gets around. And that's what's happening right now. It's really building in a beautiful way. So, you know, again, I'm grateful. And I don't need to sit with Ellen. It would be nice, but I'm not sitting with Oprah. You know what I mean? I'm sitting with Tiffany. I'm not sitting with Jimmy Farrell. I'm sitting with Tiffany. And your page is just as important as anyone else's. That's how I see it. So I am grateful. I am here.
I really appreciate that too, because with all of the celebrities that I've interviewed,
yes, you have done a lot, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Your page is huge. I forgot. Oh my. So okay, I haven't seen your page since we booked it. Since we booked the show together, because I've had so many interviews every day. But that's right, you have done a lot. Are you kidding me? So come on.
Stop. You don't do that to me. Don't you do that to me, Dawn.
You have, yes.
Woo! But it just feels like, for me, it feels like when I get authentic people and I get down to earth and humble people, it just makes my job like so much more worth it to me to really. Yeah. I started out this is not about me, but I started out on the red carpet. And so you know how that is, Dawn. You know, 2 seconds, you have 2 seconds and you're just.
Exactly. Yeah.
Building this brand, this is always what I wanted to do, to be able to really sit down and talk and have an actual time.
Good for you. And here you are. Here you are.
It feels so authentic and genuine that we can sit down and just have a conversation. And it means be able to connect on a human level and kind of forget that celebrity host relationship, you know?
You're talking human to human. Yeah. Person to person, woman to man, or man to woman, or woman to woman. Yeah, exactly. Sure.
Recognize that. And I appreciate the genuine conversation, because what I noticed about you, you're a great interview, because you're a great speaker. You really are. And I noticed that in the comments that you get from these interviews, they're like, Dawn, start your own platform.
Tiffany.
Do you want to do that? Like, I think you should do that.
They are saying that a lot. My business partner and I, because I confer with him a lot, because he's watching what I'm doing as well. And we're trying to figure out, is this a platform for me? Because I know the commitment has to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The commitment is there for me to just do these interviews every day. And I have another 60 something interviews to go. And every day I get at least 1 or 2 requests. And I'm just like, oh my God, how am I going to have time to get on the road? So I'm pushing them earlier and earlier, just in case I do have shows to do at night. So if I'm on the road, I can do my interview during the day and then do the show at night. But I know that there's a level of commitment that you have to have when you do a podcast. And I want to do it with iHeartRadio. And then people are like, no, you need to do your own platform. You don't need iHeartRadio. And I'm like, okay, I'm learning about that.
Yeah.
So thank you so much that you see the same thing that other people see. I'm grateful for that, because there's a place, like, you wanted to do this and here you are. So let me tell you this as well. And I'm going to tell you, like I've told other people, I'm grateful for you. I'm proud of you for starting something. So you said, okay, I'm doing this red carpet thing. Like you said, interview to interview and interview after interview with people, but you only have a couple of minutes. You wanted a bigger platform that you can call your own, and that you can sit down and talk with people at length, the way that you feel, like you said, a conversation that we're having now.
Exactly.
And you did that. So the fact that you created something, first of all, it starts in the mind. And this is what my show will be about. Manifesting, how you law of attraction something. You say you want to do it, and then you start working on it, and you may get a little doubt in between, and it may get a little bit away from you, because you have to pay bills on a daily basis. So you go back to the 9 to 5.
Yep.
But then you get back to your dream. You never let that go. And here you are talking to me and all these other celebrities. Like, come on.
Right. And
that's amazing.
It would be so perfect, because I think that just your perspective and all of the things that you've gone through during your career, you'd have like there would be no limit to the topics that you'd be able to speak to, and you speak
Exactly.
too.
Yes, thank you.
Listen
Thank
to
you.
your voice. And I just think that would just be phenomenal for you. And I think
I thank you so much. Now, see, you're blessing me again, Tiffany. Thank you. So now I got to look into it even deeper, because I was like, oh, maybe it's not. Again, the commitment is what I'm concerned about. If I say that I'm going to do something, then I'm going to have to show and prove. So if my flight is late, I still have to do my show that day. You know what I mean? If I get in late and I have a show to do that night, a singing show, on stage show, I still have to do my podcast that day. You know what I mean? So I'm really careful. I guess I just won't book shows on the days. I won't book my podcast shows on the day that I have a show to do on stage.
Yeah.
That's it. I just got to figure that. So is yours once a week?
So mine is really when I get my interviews.
Wow. Okay. So when people book with you. Yes.
Yeah. So, when I get my bookings, I do my interviews, and then I package my material, and then I post it. And I'd really love to have a consistent, podcast, but with the way that the interviews are set up.
Yeah, you can't be consistent.
It can't always be an interview. So
exactly.
About other things. I have a lot of pages going. This is about to go left.
Oh my God, girl! Good for you, Tiffany. You're the bomb. You really are amazing.
But I would really tune into that, and I think that'd be something that would really just.
Oh my God.
In that.
Tiffany, thank you so much. I don't want to make it specifically. Someone said yesterday, a lady named Leslie. Hey, Leslie, if you're listening, if she watches this, she said, well, your podcast can be, on the inside of the industry and what that's about. And I said, but that would be boring for the average fan who's not into the music business.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit there and learn about mechanics if I'm not a mechanic. I don't want to learn about cars. That's not my thing. So I was like, I will talk about it if that's a subject for that day. But for the most part, I want a motivational show, because that's, for the last 10 years on my social media, that's all I did on my Twitter page, my Facebook page, and Instagram page. And I would just give a word of kindness to remind people, you are so much more than your 9 to 5. You're going to that job every single day and making your boss richer, but where is your dream? Where's what, because we're all, as little kids, we grow up and we say, I want to do that when I grow up. Oh, I see that, and I want to be that when I grow up. I want to be a fireman if I'm a boy, or I want to be a nurse, or I want to start my own clothing line, if I'm a girl. Girls and boys, we all grow up as kids and we have a dream. And that dream doesn't go away when we get older. It's still kind of in there, but now, okay, we become adults, we have to pay bills. And so you forget about that dream, like I said. And so here you are, again, I bring it back to you. You said it, and now you're doing it. Bam. And it wasn't easy. I'm sure it wasn't like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to just do this, and bam, you're doing it the next day.
Oh.
It was a growth. It was growth to get there. Right. So that's what my show will be about. Just motivating people to not forget that dream. And I don't give a damn how old you are. Age is just a number. If you don't start now, you'll never do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What would your podcast be called?
I thought about, someone told me once to thread your name through everything. So I've been using Diva a lot because everybody and their mama wants to. You writing notes?
Yep.
Yeah. So if your podcast is named, your podcast is Sip and
Dish.
Sip and Dish. I knew it was dish or dip. I was going to say dip, but it's not dip. Sip and Dish. So you would use Sip and Dish for your book. You know what I mean? You would have your LLC, Sip and Dish. Mm-hmm. If you have a clothing line, you would name it Sip and Dish. If you have t-shirts and you make up t-shirts, Sip and Dish on your t-shirt. Right now it's this, but yeah, Sip and Dish everywhere. So you tie your thread in so that it becomes your moniker, your brand, And so I'm like, okay, Break It Dawn would be the name of my book, although I have Stiletto Entertainment. So I'm trying to use both of those in different ways, but if I was a guy, I wouldn't want to be on Stiletto Entertainment, Stiletto Media, or Stiletto Records. If I have a record company and I sign guys, they wouldn't want to be signed to Stiletto. So I'm like, okay, I got to figure out how, and they wouldn't want to be signed to Break It Dawn. Maybe.
I like Break It Dawn.
Break It Dawn Records or Break It Dawn LLC. Yeah, exactly. That's so nice. Thank you. Nice. But I use Diva. So I have a CBD company that I'm getting ready to create skincare line. And I just bought CB Diva Skin. as CBD-va. Yeah, exactly. Because I was trying to get CBD-va, but someone else has it.
Ooh, I love that. Ooh,
Thank you so much.
This is the
okay.
thing about that. Okay, you got to talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I'm developing it. I just literally talked to a woman yesterday. She already has her own line. It's called Liquid Burns. Liquid, she explained it to me, but liquid for the flow of energy and burns for the sun and the energy that the sun brings, or something like that. But she's got a great skincare line, and she's got stuff for men's beards and stuff for eczema, and she's got a product for CBD as well. And she said it works exceptionally well. So her and I were talking about starting a company together. And again, that skincare line that I want to do. And she's like, well, we can just use my one skincare line and just skincare product, and then develop your whole skincare line with CBD. And I'm like, I want to do that with you, because you've already gotten the groundwork of finding the products, finding the company to make your products. And I don't have to do that groundwork or that hard. She's already, and what I love about her is that she has all natural products in her skincare line. And I'm like, come on, that doesn't happen. I'm like, are you sure? Like, it's 100%. She said, Dawn, I'm going to read you some of my products and what the ingredients are. And she starts with like, oh, there's a oil in Africa. I don't even know the name. Kakor, K-O-R oil or something like that. And then I have coconut oil, and it's like all, like, literally all natural. I'm like, okay, you are the one that I need to get into business with, because your skincare, I don't want to put something out and I'm telling women to use it and then they're breaking out. And sometimes you do break out because it's not right for your skin. So you try something in a little patch of your skin, and then you try it out to see if it works for you or not. But with her, I'm just like, you've already done the groundwork. So I appreciate her again, because she's done all that. Then we talked about doing, she has nail polishes that don't have, because she said now what's happening with women is that they're getting cancer of the cuticle. Yes, Tiffany, I'm kidding you. She said, because I just got my nails done. I don't know if you can see this, but I got, like, on my tips I have glitter, because I just wanted it on the tips. Can you see that at all?
Really pretty.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's like it's called a champagne manicure or something like that. So it's like what do you call it when you get your tips done?
Like a French tip?
A French manicure, but just with sparkles. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
It's so pretty. But when they put your hands in that machine, that's what's causing the cancer, that UV rays from the little machine that they put your hand in to do the gel manicure. And I was like, oh my, and I just, like, literally 4 or 5 days ago. So she said, oh my God, she said, Dawn, my nail polishes have no formaldehyde, no this, no that. I'm just like, oh, okay. So I want to get into business with her. Yeah, she's the bomb. She's really incredible. So yeah, that's a part of starting this line with her. It's like, we've only been talking for 2 days about what to do and how to start this whole thing. So it's brand new. But I'm also doing my book, which is so great, because I'm reliving my life with En Vogue. It's like I'm day one again. Literally, Tiffany, I'm going back and I'm laughing at myself and laughing at Terry. Terry is one of the funniest funniest women I've ever met in my life. Terry Ellis of my group, En Vogue, the girl is, we would always, I would beg her to stop saying stuff. Shut up, because I can't, we would laugh so much. You know how when your face hurts because you're laughing?
Yes.
Oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to sing, Terry, stop. Would you be quiet? Oh my God. Because she's so funny. So funny. And I would tell her all the time.
Thing that she's ever, like, done or said.
Oh my God. There's so much. Let me see. So we have pictures of her photos, actually, that I need to find them. But she's literally, we were in the basement of this a venue that we were doing a show. And Terry, the pipes were so low that we could literally, like, I could hit them, and I'm only 5'3". Terry's 5'3". So we were hitting the pipes, and then she held onto the pipe, and she was swinging back and forth. Ah! Ah! She was doing this, like, monkey sound, and I'm like, Terry. Cindy's husband was there, and he was like, girl, you are absolutely nuts. But she's silly like that, right? She can laugh at herself and make faces, and do silly stuff like when we were a kid. She never lost that childhood sense of herself. And that's why I love her. I love that part of Terry. Business wise, it's a whole different story, but I love that side of Terry because she's hilarious. We were just together last year. We did a show for Sylvia Rohn, and we reunited to do that show for the Cancer Society, it was actually for a hospital that took care of cancer patients. And she donated money to them, and they in turn gave her some kind of like pay homage to Sylvia Rohn, which she so deserved. And she asked the four of us to do this together. I said no at first, so they got Rona in my place. And then when I finally came around to say yes, because Maxine talked me into it, they already had Rona. So in the meantime, Terry's backstage, and you know that whole thing on Instagram, it's probably on Facebook too, but I haven't seen it on Facebook, with Shirley Caesar saying greens, tomatoes.
Yeah.
That whole thing, Tiffany. Oh my, Terry. I don't know where she got it from in her mind. She used that to say for transportation, planes, trains, cars, skates, skateboard. She was saying we were rolling.
Oh my God.
Run, walk. She was just crazy, and we were. Oh my God! And she kept coming up with stuff. I'm like, where do you bus, train, plane? She was just everywhere. We were like, oh my God, girl, Terry. Oh, we had to sing that night.
That's my kind of girl.
She was so funny. Oh, Tiffany.
Crack up with her.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would. And so, but between her and Rona's funny like that too. And between the two of them, are just hilarious. But Terry on her own. And, you know, she would always say, but if I was like, Terry, you should have been a comedian too. Like, you should do this. And she said, but I'm not going to be funny naturally. I'm just funny naturally. But if I had to write something and be funny.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
Said she just comes up with stuff off her head and without a crowd there to be like, oh, there's too many people up. She said, I would be too nervous. You know what I mean? So she can't force herself to come up with something, but she's naturally funny. And in that sense, I'm like, girl, oh my God. Yeah, she's hilarious.
Stay tuned for part 2 of Dawn Robinson on Sip and Dish.